Do you find you constantly feel drained no matter how much sleep you get? I remember the days when I used to sleep 12 hours a night and wake up feeling like I hadn't slept at all. Do you find that even drinking coffee isn't helping you? Fatigue is one of the most common and frustrating symptoms when it comes to autoimmune. But what if I told you there are natural ways to get your energy back? In today's episode, that's what we're going to talk about: how to fix autoimmune related fatigue and regain your health without relying on stimulants. Chronic exhaustion doesn't just affect your productivity, it impacts every aspect of your life, from your mood to your relationships. And if you're tired of feeling tired, we're here to help you understand what's really causing your fatigue and what you can do to start feeling better today. And if you want to take control of your autoimmune health and dive deeper into strategies for regaining energy, we'll be telling you how you can join our free webinar, How to Take Control of Autoimmune Health Naturally, which is happening soon. Many people think their fatigue is just a result of not getting enough sleep, or maybe it's from working too hard. But for those with autoimmune conditions, fatigue often goes a lot deeper than that. Chronic fatigue is usually a sign that something is off at a cellular level, and your body is struggling to keep up with the demands being placed on it. Your cells rely on a balance of nutrients, of hormones, and oxygen to produce energy. And when that balance is disrupted, whether it's due to things like inflammation or hormone imbalances, or even environmental toxins, your cells can't produce the energy that you need to function properly. So what's an actionable tip you can start with today? So start by taking inventory of how you feel throughout the day. Do you crash in the afternoon, or do you wake up feeling just as tired as you went to bed? This can give you clues about what might be causing your fatigue. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of our cells. And when they aren't functioning properly, fatigue is one of the first signs that show up for people. For people with autoimmune conditions, mitochondrial health can be compromised by things like chronic inflammation. And in my opinion, chronic inflammation is one of the biggest drivers of autoimmune. And this can come from so many different things in your life, in your diet, in your stress, in your environment. And chronic inflammation, toxins, and stress are big drivers when it comes to your cells, your mitochondria not being able to function as they should. When your mitochondria aren't working optimally, your cells can't produce enough energy to keep up with the demands of your body. And that leads to that run-down feeling that just never seems to go away. That alone is exhausting. And if your cells aren't able to keep up with the energy that they need, it's going to make it very hard for you to function throughout the day. So what is something that you can start doing today that's going to be useful? You can support your mitochondria by eating nutrient-rich foods. I used to be someone who would eat multigrain Cheerios for dinner because it was easy. But if you're giving your body something that's poor quality nutrients, it needs good quality nutrients to rebuild and to get the energy that it wants. And so ones that are high in antioxidants, like berries, like leafy greens, supplements like even CoQ10, and magnesium can also be helpful at boosting mitochondrial function. So if your mitochondria are functioning optimally, your body's going to have the energy it needs to heal. But without the energy in your cells, healing struggles and doesn't do very well. So number 3 is going to be adrenal fatigue and hormone imbalances. These are really big problems when it comes to energy levels. So chronic stress is another major contributor to autoimmune fatigue. And when you're constantly stressed, your adrenal glands are forced to produce stress hormones like cortisol, which over time can lead to adrenal fatigue. This means your body can no longer produce enough cortisol to keep your energy levels stable. And if you're listening to other episodes, cortisol is something that is very stressful in the immune system. The immune system is very sensitive to levels of cortisol. So if your stress hormone is constantly driven up, your immune system is going to suffer. It's not going to be properly supported, which makes things harder in terms of functionality as well. And why is this a problem? Adrenal fatigue not only leads to exhaustion, but it can also cause issues with sleep. It can cause mood swings and even waking. Your adrenals are key to maintaining energy levels. So when they're burned out, your whole life suffers. What are actionable tips for this one for adrenal support? So reducing stress is really important here. It's going to be beneficial for energy, but it's going to support your hormone system as well. And so again, incorporating relaxing techniques in your daily routine, so things like meditation or deep breathing exercises. And then from a supplement perspective, adaptogenic herbs can be really helpful here as well. We typically like to test our clients to make sure that it's the right support for them. Because if you're someone who is blocked or switched, which is something we test for, a person who is switched, their body will respond opposite to how it's supposed to. So if you're taking a herb that's supposed to make someone calm or that's supposed to help someone with getting to sleep, and you're having the opposite reaction, that can be a sign that your nervous system is switched and not responding well. So when it comes to supplements, there are some pretty basic ones. Again, ashwagandha is a commonly recommended one. Rhodiola is really good as well for supporting adrenal function. But anytime we're talking about herbs, I definitely recommend getting tested for that to make sure you're getting the right herb for the right person at the right time, because the right time can be an important factor as well. Another thing that's going to drain energy is going to be environmental toxins. So most people don't realize that toxins in their environment can have a direct impact on energy levels. Things like mold. Mold is a really big one, and we're talking about autoimmune stuff right now. Mold is one of kind of the top things that we see that make it really hard for the body to function optimally, especially when it comes to autoimmune. Mold and glyphosate, which is Roundup. Those are ones that we find very typically show up with people with autoimmune. And mold in your system, your body is just not able to function properly. And the body can't clear it without proper support. If you're someone, I grew up with a father who had lived in basement apartments for a while. If you're someone who ever lived in a basement apartment, or you ever lived in residence when you were in college, university, I can pretty much guarantee you that you've had mold exposure at some point in your life. And so if mold has built up in your system, this can definitely zap your energy. Also, things like heavy metals can be big. If you have mercury fillings in your teeth, it's considered a heavy metal. And even air fresheners. We have a client who she was so tired, she's a very energetic, she's a high vibe person, and her energy was just so low. And at the time, we didn't find the fragrances right away, but over time, she also has had osteoarthritis in her hands. And what we ended up finding down the road was that there were Glade plugins all over her house. And when we removed those, things started to get better in all areas for her. So air fresheners are something that can be very hormone disruptive. Think of fragrance as well. Think of your house. Think of all the things that smell. Are they natural or are they chemical? Because if they're chemical, my recommendation would be swap them out for something that's natural, like an essential oils. These things are going to cause an overload in your detox system in your body, and it's going to drain your body's resources. And your body is constantly working to remove toxins. And when it's overloaded, it has to divert energy that would be normally used for daily functioning towards detoxification. So this can leave you feeling drained and fatigued. An actionable tip for this: start reducing your toxic exposure. Switch to non-toxic personal care products and cleaning products. Use vinegar instead of bleach for cleaning the bathroom, for cleaning the windows. Get rid of the Windex. Like, I spray my mirrors with vinegar and then wipe it with a little bit of paper towel. There are so many ways you can bring non-toxic products into your house that aren't super expensive. Yes, there are some super expensive versions as well, but just one step at a time. As you start to run out of things, look for more natural solutions that you can use. You also may want to get your home tested if we're talking about mold and you suspect that there's mold. That could be an issue for you. And then we also want to support the body's detox pathways. So this is drinking a lot of water, and this can be things like castor oil packs, can be drinking some warm lemon water in the morning is also helpful for getting your liver to clean things out and function properly. Nutrient deficiencies can also be contributing to your lack of energy and autoimmune fatigue. Many people with autoimmune conditions are deficient in key nutrients that are very essential when it comes to energy production. So things like vitamin D, magnesium, B vitamins all play a crucial role in maintaining energy levels. But inflammation and poor gut health can make it hard for your body to actually absorb and use these nutrients. We also have lots of poor quality versions that are available as well. And I think that's kind of not a trap, but it's a slippery slope that people get into, because if you're online and someone's saying, I remember when I was first diagnosed, but not long after, people were like, oh, you should take vitamin D. Oh, you should take B vitamins. You should take magnesium. I think there was another one, selenium as well. And I didn't know the difference between good quality vitamins and supplements. and not good quality ones. And the problem with not good quality ones is they can have other things in there that they don't have to put on the label, but that can actually be making matters worse. Make sure you're buying good quality supplements if that's something that you're looking in. And without proper nutrients, your body can't produce the energy it needs to help you feel energized throughout the day. This can make the fatigue worse, and even if you're doing everything else right. So you want to make sure you're getting your nutrient levels tested. That's something that we can do with frequency testing, muscle testing, to see where the imbalances are and where your body needs support, and work with a practitioner to address deficiencies. As I've said on other episodes, your body is always trying to heal itself. And when it's not, or when you're dealing with illness, that's when we need to look at things and say, okay, what's missing or what's getting in the way? And when it comes to what's missing, nutrient deficiencies can be a really big one here. We want to make sure that you're adding more nutrient dense foods to your diet, things like leafy greens, things like fatty fish, seeds. These can also be supportive for your energy levels. And so today we talked about the real reason behind autoimmune fatigue, whether it's mitochondrial dysfunction, adrenal fatigue, environmental toxins, or nutrient deficiencies. But the good news is, by addressing these underlying issues, you can start to regain your energy naturally. If you're ready to dive deeper and take control of your energy, I invite you to join the free webinar coming up next week. It's called How to Take Control of Autoimmune Health Naturally. And in the webinar, we'll dive in even more detail on how you can start regaining your energy and improving your health. So click the link in the show notes to reserve your spot today. I look forward to seeing you there. Hopefully you got a lot of value from these 4 episodes this week. The point was to bring some kind of commonly asked questions around autoimmune and some things that I experienced in the past as well, in terms of frustrations and struggles and things that I found helpful. So hopefully you've got a lot of value out of this. Make sure you save your spot for the webinar, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you know anyone who you think would benefit from this and would get value from it, please feel free to share, and I will talk to you soon.